Hi guys, and welcome to part 2 of Surviving AP Comp Sci. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the third assignment that Davis assigned to us in class. I've already recorded this and I had muted my microphone, so I'm going to sort of try and go through this as quickly as possible because this is my second time. So this is my completed program. Like in the previous video, we're going to look through my example because it's a little bit more advanced, and then we're going to look through an example that I made that's more basic. I actually was writing it out, but I already have it pre-made, and I don't really feel like writing it out again. So, yeah. I've imported a scanner, which I explained last episode. Basically, it takes the keyboard inputs, stores it to a variable of any type, and I have a public class, and I have a method main. And here's the scanner and its initialization. Two integers that aren't assigned to anything, two integers that are assigned to something. I have a string keyboard input that is unassigned for user input. I have three strings that have preset sentences, and yeah, here is the beginning of the actual code. So system.out.print f could have been just print. It's a prompt, so it's going to ask for the first integer, which the user will input, and I will store it to value 1. And if you remember in the last episode, I did input.nextLine. It stores a string. Input.nextInteger stores an integer number. And then there's next double, which stores a double number, blah, 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 etc. System.out.print, please input second integer. I'm prompting again. And I'm storing a value to value 2. And then this is basically just a confirmation output that I put into the code. It's just good practice to have a confirmation for users so that they know that they've completed the main tasks, and then inform them of what's going to happen next. So I just put thank you, please see below for a result. And it's going to take those values that were inputted by the user and then compare them and check. Are they equal to each other? Is one greater than the other, and is one less than the other? And then by inferring that the top one isn't equal to each other and value 1 isn't greater than value 2, the code is going to infer that value 1 is less than value 2 and print out this second or this last statement right here. And then I have a prompt asking if it wants to show predetermined integer comparisons, which relates to these up here, value 3 and value 4, and then some other code. But we're going to focus on this main block right here. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. Hello? Oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and run this. Please input first integer. Okay, so 10, 20. The value of the first integer is 10 and is less than the value of the second integer being 20. So I inputted the first integer 10, it stored it to value 1. And then I inputted the second integer 20, and it stored it to value 2. And then it came down here and it checked. Is value 1 equal to value 2? No. Okay, well, is value 1 equal or greater than value 2? No. Then it has to be this one right here, because I haven't given it any other conditions to look for. So system.out.print, the value of the first integer is formatted data. If you remember from the last episode, printf just takes formatted data, and it's looking for formatted data in terms of an integer, and it's less than the value of the second integer being formatted data, integer, new line, and then value 1, value 2. So this is going to apply to value 1. This one is going to apply to value 2 because it reads from left to right. So if I run it again, and I do 20 and 20, it's going to save those two values, check. Is value 1 equal to value 2? Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to do this line right here and print that to the console. And if I do 20 and 10, it's going to check. Are they equal? No. Is value 1 greater than value 2? Yes. The value of the first integer is 20 and is larger than the value of the second integer being 10. Now this has been up here for a while. Show predetermined integer comparisons. So I have value 3 and value 4 equal to 50. And based on what the user inputs, it's going to run two different outcomes. So if the user inputs yes, I'm saying if the keyboard input, because I'm putting it at the keyboard input right here, which was a string, so we're looking for words now and not integer numbers. if keyboard input, or yeah, if keyboard input dot equals ignore case is a special type of function. So you can do if value 1 equals 20, because I put 20 as value 1, then do something. But when it comes to strings, equals is checking for numerical, is in terms of like numbers. So dot equals, like this, is just going to check if the user put yes with all lowercase, no capitals. But with ignore case, I could put yes with a capital, and it'll simply make all capital letters lowercase and then check based off of that. Or I could make the Y lowercase and then the ES capital, and it will still work. If the user inputs yes, it's going to check those predetermined values and then print one of 3 strings, which I created here, greater than, less than, equal to. And then if you put no, it's going to, or anything other than yes, so I could say like taco. Okay, end all programming functions. So a little bit flawed, as flawed can get, but I'm going to say yes. Value 3 is 50, which is equal to value 4, which is 50. So if I change this to 10 and this to 12, and I run it again, I'm just going to put in random numbers, yes. Value 3 is 12, which is greater than value 4, which is 10. And then if I made this 10 and made this 12, it's going to check and give you the value 3 is 10, which is less than value 4, which is 12. So that's what I turned in. A little bit more advanced, but we're going to come over here and we're going to take a look at how things work. So I went ahead and made this in the failed recording when I didn't record my microphone. I'm going to go through this one pretty quickly too. It's very simple. I have a scanner, just as an example so that you can see it and you can memorize, because the more that you see it, the more you're going to memorize how to write it. But I have 2 integers with predetermined values that I've inputted. And then if integer 1 is equal to integer 2, I want you to return this phrase. Integer 1 has a value of plus integer 1 and is equal to integer 2, which has a value of plus integer 2, which I showed in the last episode an example of how to do. And then I did a printf statement just as a example that either one of these works. You can do the whole plus and then put a variable, and then plus, and then strings, and then plus and variable. So again, this doesn't have to be integer 1. I could make a double, put whatever I want in it, and then if I put the double there, it's going to print that double line rather than or it's going to print the double value rather than the integer 1 value. I prefer printf. It's easier to understand, and I don't like this whole like plus thing. It gets confusing after a while. Then integer 1, if it's greater than, do this, and if it's less than, do that. So we're going to run that. Integer 1 has a value of 100 and is less than integer 2, which has a value of 289. Now, if I make this 289 and run it, it's going to give me both of these because I have 2 different system.outs inside of the same if statement, but it's going to print the top one first. Integer 1 has a value of 289 is equal to integer 2, which has a value of 289. And then integer 1 equals 289 and is equal to integer 2, which is equal to 289. So both the same thing, just 2 different print statements and 2 different ways of getting it to work. And then it's going to have a less than, so if I do like 100, integer 1 has a value of 100 and is less than integer 2, which has a value of 289. And then if we do a bigger one, 300, because I think I already did a less than one, it's going to pick the middle one. So I know that this one was kind of fast. I really don't want to re-record this one. But if statements are really simple to understand. It's just checking to see if things are equal to each other, in a sense. So I'm going to encourage you to redo the third assignment, but use the scanner class and do something similar to what I did right here. You can literally copy paste this exact code, but just make sure that you've named everything either the same or you give them all unique names. Like value 1, you can name that one taco and burrito, and then if you name your input like Chipotle, just make sure that input right here is Chipotle and Chipotle, and if you name value 1 taco burrito, make sure this is taco burrito. So try doing this using the scanner assignment, um, and uh, oh yeah, sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Try doing this part with the scanner. In the description, I'm going to have a link to a Dropbox. I'm making this folder on my personal Dropbox so that if you have code that you write and you have a question about how to like get it to work, or you want me to check and see if it works, you can send it to there, and I will check it over, and I will put comments on things, and you can check it over and see what you might need to fix and whatnot. I'll check it every night. I just want to make sure that everybody has some help because I know that things can be a little bit confusing with computer science. As well as in the description, there's going to be just some basic information on the episode and a link to Stack Overflow. Still think that is a great site for all things Java programming. So, thanks for watching, and I hope that this helped with some conceptual understanding.